I got a hair in my mouth and I just can't get it out. I'm actually kind of happy about it. God, it's just...
Can we just get that laugh as a stream alert? There it is. There's the thumbnail. There's something a little bit messy about this thumbnail, wouldn't you say? And I get that Xander's mad or like traumatized because like Thought Slime was, you know, a bigger creator at the time when this happened. Still is, you know, a bigger creator than him. And you'll see this with Vosh too. Vosh says, okay, so we can be mean now, right? And that is absolutely their standard, right? If anybody fights back, they're allowed to nuke, I guess, is what it is. And oh my God, chat, like I'm trying to think, what is the meanest thumbnail I've ever done? What's the meanest thumbnail I ever did? I know it's not anywhere close to this. I know I have never put fluid in anyone's mouth for a thumbnail. Can anybody name, what is the meanest thumbnail I've done? I actually think that the meanest thumbnail was the tomfoolery interview, chat, and it was mean because I made it look like he kicked my ass in the debate, and he was trying to get me. He was trying to nail me for clout, to get clout from Dylan, but he just didn't do a good job of it, and I rolled right over him. And so, like, yeah, it says the thumbnail implies that he kicked my ass. And he didn't. So I think that was the meanest one because I was a little bit sarcastic. Go nuclear was literally what one of them said to fan. What? Oh, when did they say that? Is that a pic of Louis C.K.? Wait, what? It was what a pic of Louis C.K.? Oh, you mean the Chud Logic one? That's probably the meanest one. Yeah. That's probably the meanest one. Well, that wasn't mean though. Like when it comes to Chud Logic, I don't know. It's hard to feel sorry. It's hard to feel sorry for somebody who came this close to standing Louis C.K. He literally had to have his chat remind him, what did Louis C.K. do wrong? I felt like it was meaner to Vivian though. I think it was meaner to Vivian than I was to Chud Logic in that debate. Okay, so well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. Okay, is that a Thought Slime quote? So yeah, I mean, like this is like, wow.
I woke up today to my girlfriend shaking me awake to let me know that I am going to love what I see when I open up Twitter today.
So here's what's fucked up about this. Shit-eating grin on his face, and yet he's going to claim to be the victim. Thought Slime claims that they were kind of engaging in hyperbole, but if you want to say that you felt mischaracterized and lied about and victimized, sure, right? If you want to say that, it seems toxic, sure, right? The shit-eating grin while trying to claim victimhood, that's a little bit of a weird champ, I would say. That's a little bit of a weird flex, my dude.
Sure enough, without any poking or prodding or any instigation by me, frankly, I come to find out that basically half of...
You shouldn't have even said that. You shouldn't have even said that. Right? I wasn't going to accuse you of poking or prodding, but it seems like you...
Lefty Twitter.
No, I'm wondering, did you poke? Did you prod?
Seems to be absolutely fucking roasting Thought Slime on my behalf for their...
I don't know, Chad.
I think Thought Slime... I don't know exactly what pronouns Thought Slime goes by exactly, so we're just going to go with they, them. That they spread about me involving claiming that I had a sex cult, which I don't and didn't. And,
Clearly. What? Clearly. Clearly, this man doesn't have a sex cult. What?
This drama happened way back. This drama happened back in early.
So it was right before our debate. Yeah, 2 years ago.
2020. So we're digging back 2 years right now to get to this drama.
Ding.
But apparently it's been brought back up again, and frankly, I'm actually kind of happy about it. Because when all of this happened, I feel like Thought Slime just sort of totally got away with it. And now all of a sudden I see so many people
Wait, got away with it? Do you want us to cancel Thought Slime? I'm trying to understand this, right? Either people can make mistakes and we can move on. And we should look at things in gradations and with nuance and not go immediately towards this creator needs to be deplatformed, right? Or not, right? I feel like there's no consistency here.
Standing up for me, people with larger platforms than me, Seanhead, Vosh even.
And if you're wondering where this is coming from, why is Thought Slime getting attacked now? Because Thought Slime jumped in with the Vosh stuff, right? And they were just waiting for the Vosh stuff, the Vosh Luna stuff to get over so they could kind of turn on and bully Thought Slime. And that is what's going on.
Seeing much larger Twitter accounts even and whatnot stand up for me in this respect has been really nice to see. It really has been heartwarming to see, and I appreciate it a lot. I legitimately do. All right, I guess it's time to start the story from the beginning.
Wow, look at his old thumbnails.
It should have for how
really come a long way, Xan.
People were lied to by Thought Slime.
You're almost ready to become an anti-SJW again.
But, you know, if you want to get a more like in-depth version of the story, you can get it there. But if you just want to be caught up on the drama that's happening now, then I'll go ahead and give you a brief summary. So back in early 2020, you know, my channel was quite a bit smaller. I believe I was around somewhere between 50 to 25k subs. I don't remember exactly. You can go on Social Blade and look for my channel on there and see what my sub count was back in like April or March, or it was either March or April of 2020, and you'll be able to tell. Really not that many. It wasn't that many subscribers. Well, all I'm going to say is I was getting pretty burnt out on streaming and making content, and the stress from doing that had resulted in me kind of in my sleep biting a hole in my lip. This is something that I've done basically
your thumbnail for Hans versus Demon Mama? True. I got lazy with that. Hey, that's what happens when Irene makes her own thumbnail, right, Vamps? They're not quite up to Vamps' level of quality when it's you can tell when it's an Irene job.
My entire life, and it's whenever I bite a hole in my lip, it's not like a tiny little bite. It's like
yeah, it's Louis CK with green eyes. It's the joke.
I wake up and there's like a big chunk missing, and it takes days for it to heal. And you know, when you're talking, when your job is to talk and the inside of your lip is basically like fucked up.
The fucked up thing is this is relatable. Like I don't do what he's talking about, but I can imagine if you did. And biting your lip, you know, hurting your lip sucks when you have to talk.
And it's like sliding over.
But I do want to point out, he's telling us about his troubles. And what are his troubles? He bites his lips sometimes, and it hurts. And it makes it hard to talk. For his job is to talk, and it hurts to talk. So, you know, this is not great. Okay, Zan, we feel your pain. We feel your pain.
Your teeth, because you're talking, it hurts really bad. And so I had to take a couple weeks off of streaming. And in that time,
and hey, it's not that like his lip pain isn't valid. Zan, your lip pain is heckin' valid, okay? Just like, please understand that some of us have to deal with slightly more inconvenient matters, let's just say.
I spent a lot of time in my Discord server just hanging out in the VC and playing video games, notably Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain. That's what I was playing mostly at the time.
I'm already demonetized? God damn it.
And I spent a lot of time in the VCs of not only my own Discord, but the Discords that I hung out in. And there was a few friends that I ended up making while I was hanging out in those VCs. Most of them I actually became friends with in my own Discord server. Now, this has actually led to a very unfortunate misconception on the part of many people that the people involved in this drama were fans of my content that I like reached out to, and that I'd used, like, I'd leveraged my popularity, or I'd leverage their being a fan of me in order to get sexual favors from them. That's
okay. So now, like, I remember, so this is the weird thing when I debated Zan, right? This wasn't one of the subjects. Right? I specifically didn't want to talk about this issue because I didn't know anything about it. It was an emerging thing. And like I said, it's a prosecution, and I didn't want to do a prosecution of Xanderhal. I wanted to take Xanderhal to task over his, you know, bad takes on different things, right? Unfortunately, there were people in my chat who really wanted to talk about this, and Xanderhal basically debated chat most of the time, right? Like, Xanderhal just came in to debate my chat, my spicy chat, right? And it was Xanderhal. And there, to be fair, there were some like toxic, you know, people in the chat at the time, some people that I definitely would not allow anywhere near my community now, right? I didn't realize, you know, kind of how bad that they were, but yeah, so like he did go out of his way to say that these are, even though these people are on my Discord, they're not fans of mine. They're absolutely not fans of mine. And it just like, look, I've had people come to my Discord that aren't fans of mine, but if one of them suggests an NSFW server, as a content creator, I gotta say no. And you should have said no too. Now, like, you could say that Xanderhal was pretty young when this happened. I don't know how old he is now, but he was, you know, 2 years younger then, right? Like, I don't think it's like any sort of grievous, like, this is like the worst thing Xanderhal's ever done. But like, it was a mistake, and there is an issue with that, right? It's not nothing, in other words, right?
It's sort of a misconception that everyone's gotten. Just kind of
stop demonetizing yourself. Stop demonetizing yourself, Irene.
I pulled that from the fact they were in my fan Discord, but I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a behind the scenes bit of knowledge here. when you're a political YouTuber who has a Discord,
and I mean, just so everybody that's coming in from Xanderhal understands, as far as that's concerned, that's my only criticism, and it's, you know, a small bore criticism. It was like, you know, basically my take is like, not a good idea, potentially problematic. I don't see any evidence that Xander was like trying to solicit anything. This isn't a pro-Jared situation. This isn't anything like that. It's just kind of a dodgy decision, because like, honestly, you got to put a real thick line. Thick is the wrong word to use here. You gotta put a real clear line between yourself and your community when it comes to, like, I even worry about like making off-color sex jokes to people in chat, right? I feel like it's okay when it's when I'm talking to chat, you know, it's just it seems obvious that it's a bad idea. And I think I might have said something about that in the debate, but it wasn't what I was most concerned about, right? There were other things that he was doing, like the R slur. The R slur was the one, like R slur, Calvin Guerra. There's a lot of things that Xanderhal has done that I do have a real concern about, like the decision to make an NSFW forum, or to allow that to be made. Let's just make the assumption that maybe Xanderhal, it was just some mods who decided that was a good idea, right? But you know, you do have to kind of, I don't think you're responsible for everything in your Discord at all times, but you do have to sort of have some level of oversight.
Discord server. Once you reach a certain size, your Discord server basically stops being a Discord server dedicated to that figure and basically just becomes another lefty politics server. None of them watched my content. They were all just hanging out in there because they were like left-wing people who wanted a left-wing community to hang out in. But I became friends with a few of them that were hanging out in my server. Well, let's just say we were all
I have bigger issues here. Peroxide Blonde, it's 2022. Maybe it's coming back. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm old for not thinking this looks good. Maybe this looks making a comeback. I don't know. What is this look from? Is it from, like, when was this popular? When was guys peroxiding their hair a popular look? Thought Slime made a tweet of like, hey, maybe you don't have a sex cult, which kind of sounds like Thought Slime is joking too, but Xander's taken this as like, Thought Slime accused me of having a sex cult. And in the wake of the Vosh drama, where Thought Slime, you know, was like attacking Vosh for some of these things, was on the side of Luna. Right now, everybody on that side is attacking Thought Slime and bringing up the supposed accusations. So you'll notice this in Twitch politics, and you'll notice this in debate bro culture. The worst crime isn't like abusing somebody, it's accusing somebody of abusing somebody when you don't have like proof beyond the shadow of a doubt. That is part of the reason that when I was presented with the opportunity to have a debate which would have been a prosecution of this guy over these issues, I said no thank you. I said no thank you, because I know how this shit works. I know that's basically a setup to get, you know, me canceled, right? And that's a kind of a fucked up thing, that there's a price for making accusations. Now I get that we don't want people using accusations as weapons. We don't want people, you know, just making shit up, right, to try to get people in trouble. But you also got to recognize that some victims, some honest to God victims, aren't going to be able to prove their accusations. And if our standard is that you come forward with an accusation and you can't prove it beyond the shadow of a reasonable doubt that you are the one who gets canceled, then you're going to end up victim blaming. It's unavoidable. And that is what happens in Twitch politics. That is what happens in debate bro circles, right? And that's what I'm kind of on about, right? That like this stuff right here isn't a big deal to Xanderhal, right? But it is something that they are trying to chase Thought Slime off the internet with currently, right? So the cancellation's real, but it doesn't get done to these guys. It gets done to their enemies. Like these people who bitch all day and all night about cancel culture, like it's some kind of scapegoating unfair thing that happens to them, right? What I'm saying is it doesn't really happen to them. It happens to us. That what they do to us to silence us actually resembles what they claim to be cancel culture. That the closest thing that you will actually see to cancel culture, right, is going to be these people's attacks on, you know, anybody that has a problem with them, right? As Phoenix can probably attest to, right? Making an accusation will, in this environment, will get you clapped, right? It's a bigger deal to accuse somebody of something that's bad than to have actually done that thing. So with it's racism, you'll get more and more trouble for accusing somebody of being racist than you will for actually being racist. You'll get more and more trouble for accusing somebody of whatever than for actually doing that thing. That it's a very victim blaming environment that we're in here.
Sensual and very horny adults. So we made a separate chat in the Discord server, in the Xanderhal Discord server, and jokingly called it the harem.
Wait, you haven't heard them complain about cancel culture? I mean, yeah, it's one of their things. It's definitely one of their things.
Harem, which is a reference to Destiny. For those of you guys that don't know, I got a hair in my mouth and I just can't get it out. For those of you guys that don't know,
about the Discord, was a mod of Critical Role Discord. Before it got so popular, you shouldn't make NSFW channels unless you can prove that everyone's of age. Oh yeah, and it's a nightmare to do that, like, right? So in order to prove that everyone's of age, right, what you would have to do is request ID. Request that people make some kind of, at least a photocopy of their ID, send it to you. I don't think that's legal. I think there's actually an issue with that, right? So it's like the thing that you would do to make the NSFW, you know, to make the NSFW forum okay is something that you that also violates terms of service, right? So yeah, it's a real conundrum, right? And like I said, I don't think that that is the worst thing that Xanderhal's ever done. So I'm not sweating Xanderhal about that, but you know, the idea that there was like no harm and no foul, no mistake made, that's not quite true either, right? So like everything, there's nuance here, right? And that's what I'm trying to get to. There's nuance, there's gradations, and we need to be a little bit smarter than that, than just like, you know, okay, either, you know, deserves to be driven off the internet or completely innocent. There's a lot in between, and most of us are somewhere in between there, right? You know, most of us deserve some shit, including me, right? But you know, a lot of it, if you're on this side fighting the debate bros, you get more than your share of shit.
Destiny allegedly gets a lot of pussy, and so people like to meme.
And listen, chat, I'm not anti-sex or anything, okay? I just want everybody to understand that I am pro-sex. The problem is that if I have a community, the community's about me, I have some power over you, right? If you're in my Discord and the Discord's about me, that's not an equal power level. That's not just two friends like sharing lewds or something like that, right? Which I think is wholesome as fuck, right? And that's why I would never do anything like this. And, you know,
about him having a harem or being like the protagonist of a harem anime where it's one dude pursued.
Most of this is drama for drama's sake. Exactly. I mean, they just want to go after Thought Slime, right? This was 2 years ago. So this is the weird thing is Xander keeps on bringing up the fact that it's 2 years ago as like a sculpatory, like, why would you talk about something that I did 2 years ago? Well, guess who's not really talking about this? Thought Slime. Like, right? Am I wrong? I don't think that Thought Slime has kept trying to pursue this. I don't think that Thought Slime is on the, like, hey, remember that time Xander had like a sex cult and we should totally cancel it? No, like, right? It's Xander, it's Vosh, it's these people that are bringing this up. It's not Thought Slime. Right, so
by a bunch of women who are all like sycophantically dedicated to the guy, and so
Chris Perez, I will say that seems to be an inordinate amount of empathy for people in that sort of position in Twitch politics. Yeah,
as a joke referencing that because it was me and a friend group of a bunch
his audience was
women. We ended up making it was like 3 people at that time. One of them was who was the alleger of these allegations.
I don't like the person's name getting brought up in this, right?
Everybody that
like there's a cancellation here, but it's a cancellation of the person making the accusations. Now, I mean, I guess if somebody's doing it perniciously, I guess that's no. You know what? Actually, I have a real problem with this. You're talking about somebody who doesn't have any platform whatsoever, right? You're now making accusations against somebody who doesn't have a platform, and I get that this person made accusations against you that you don't think were fair, right? But you know, I have tried to avoid situations that were less problematic than this, right? But it seems like Xander's just wanting to let me make sure that I say every single name that they could possibly be using so that this can follow them around and that the harassment can, like, yeah, oh my god, what reason could that be other than to like, you know how like straight, oh yeah, and let me say this, let's get this out of the way, okay? Chat, I'm gonna have some feelings about these things, you're gonna have some feelings about these things. At no point do I want you to go harass anybody, okay? And you know, like that's not where I'm at, okay? Like, you know, it's I don't think it's useful, I don't think it's good, and I think it can get out of hand really quickly. So I am going to say that preemptively before we even get into it. Just like, you know, I'm not you know, Xander seems to be enabling some sort of campaign against this person. I'm going to discourage any sort of campaign against anybody.
Their side of things kind of turned on them and they just changed their entire identity online. I don't know what name they go by anymore, but I have been told that they still have like a fairly...
The reason that Xander's running with the sex cult thing is because it's ridiculous. You look at this guy and you immediately know he doesn't have a sex cult. It doesn't take a lot of processing, right, to know that, right? He doesn't have a sex cult. He clearly does not have a sex cult, right? So yeah, I guess that's how I read it. But if other people thought that maybe Xander's more charismatic to, you know, some people than others, I don't know. You could believe it. I don't know.
Sizable audience of people who are changed about me that believe the allegations. So that's pretty funny. Anyway, at this point, there were only 3 people involved, and we were all consenting adults, so we decided to horny post a little bit. For the most part, we just kind of chatted in the voice chat and talked about video games, politics, current events, and stuff like that, and occasionally we would horny post a little bit, because, you know, why not? Is that a bad thing? Can anybody explain to me how that is a bad thing? Are we good so far? Are we in agreement so far that nothing problematic on my part has occurred? Okay, good. All right, good. So, eventually, we end up also bringing in a friend of mine who I'm not going to name. I'm just going to call them A. We end up bringing a friend of mine called A. Now, all I'm going to tell you about this friend of mine is that she is a trans woman, and she's a lesbian. She's got no interest in men.
It's Minecraft music.
She was also in that friend group. And the reason why I bring that up is because, well, a few of the accusations made by the victim, in very heavy quotation marks. Oh man, if that's a bad thing, then I'm screwed because I definitely have a sex cult. Oh, hell yeah, Wannabe Twitch. Anyway, yeah, so long as we're all in agreement so far that nothing I've done so far in the story is problematic, then we should be able to skate along just fine. Anyway, the reason why I bring up that that particular person who was in the friend group was a trans woman and a lesbian is because one of the allegations made was that all of the girls in this friend group were all interested in me, and that it was some sort of polyamorous relationship type deal. And I think you can imagine, you know, having somebody in there that I'm not interested in and isn't interested in me kind of like throws a wrench in that entire theory. Eventually, because of like, we didn't want it to end up becoming drama because we were worried that could happen. One of our friends that was in this friend group ended up making a completely separate Discord server and calling it Harem Uwu to continue on the joke, and then invited all of us to go into that server, and that's where all the drama happened. Things went fine for like a couple months, I think, like maybe a few weeks, like things were just completely fine. And then eventually, I woke up one morning to find out everything had fucking fallen apart. Everything had fucking fallen apart. The only people dating there were Xanderhal and I. Yeah, Lonnie was there as well, but me and her were dating. You know, of course she was in the friend group. Really fucking... So Xan consents, the women consent, Thought Slime doesn't. Yes, this is quite literally a like... like me and these women like consent, but then Thought Slime saying, "Isn't there somebody you forgot to ask?" It's literally that meme. One day I wake up, you know, things went fine for a couple weeks, and then I wake up one day to everything having just fucking fallen apart. The world is fucking melting. Things are on fire. Everyone's losing their shit. It's like 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and I've just woken up. I come to fucking find out. The girl who was the cause of all of the drama had apparently left my Discord, the Harem Uwu friend group Discord, and all the other related Discords, banned me from her Discord, and had also attempted suicide and was Baker acted. That is what I woke up to hear about when I got onto my computer and opened up Discord. And all I could think was just, oh god, what the fuck happened? Oh no. Why? This is why we can't have nice things, okay? This is why we can't have nice things, alright? There's a Discord server where I got a friend group and I just click on a button and there's booby there. Can't last forever because, of course, bad things have to happen. We can't have nice things. Basically, here in the US, I don't know if it applies like in other countries. If you are a danger to yourself or others, then you can be basically institutionalized in like a health facility. If you're like suicidal or something like that, and they keep you there for like 3 days until they're pretty sure that you're not like suicidal or dangerous anymore.
Or...
It's a Florida thing? Is that only a Florida thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Did they just delete chat messages or were they banning people?
Thing? I'm pretty sure they do it in the place where she was, but also claimed you made the housing promises in a public VC or something, so of course it wasn't traceable. Yeah, of course. So, like, I just want to say, by the way, every accusation that levied at me is literally, like, source, just trust me, bro. Not even, like, no screenshots, no nothing. The fact that this has all been available for Thought Slime to look at, and yet they still propagates this false narrative, goes to show how dishonest of an actor they are. Yeah, literally, I remember trying to look for evidence, and there was nothing other than, oh, he told me privately. Yeah, the closest thing to... So basically, what he did was claim that I promised... He had a very, very bad...
He's trying
really
for that
bad
internship.
home life, like a really bad financial situation.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Now,
Because like, they have a completely different standard for people, right?
oh, to be clear, so did
Hey, I'm still waiting for my apology, Xanderhal. I'm still waiting for my apology.
I at the time. Okay, it's not like I was raking in the big... It's not even like I'm raking in the big bucks now, okay? But I made a joke about wanting to get a mansion and a harem to live in it. That was the closest thing that could have been in...
I don't think I can remember what... Please tell me he won the one against Politically Provoked. Chat, did he win the one against the Nazi Barbie doll chick?
Interpreted. Had this mental breakdown, this absolute fucking freak out, and what happened? What caused this? I come to find out
he did destroy Brittany.
That
yeah, that I did hear that. So he did win against. So he doesn't lose every debate, right?
And some friends of mine,
and I've seen him perform halfway decently in debates before,
as well as a friend of mine, as well as another friend from that friend group, were talking about Star Wars because the three of them happen to be pretty big Star Wars fans, and happens to be a huge Reylo shipper, a huge Reylo stan. And apparently some drama that had happened in the Star Wars community a long time ago had been, kind of brought up. Basically, John Boyega had made like a sexist comment or a sexist joke about the character Rey in Star Wars. John Boyega plays Finn, the Black Stormtrooper guy in the new Star Wars movies. Come to find out, she basically had a mental breakdown over this drama being brought up because apparently when all of that happened, she'd attempted to kill herself over it. When all of that stuff with John Boyega and everything initially happened, she apparently attempted suicide because of it, which is just something and a half, okay? And I come to find out that after blocking me from everything and then like kicking me from her Discord and then like leaving my Discord and blocking everybody else and banning everyone else from her Discord, as soon as I saw this, I understood. Yeah.
Wait, Daisy Ridley?
I feel like I just need to show that one screenshot to like 90% of people, and that gets the message across pretty well. What are your thoughts on that? So that is what she proceeded to post in her Discord. And then she apparently threatened suicide. And so one of the friends in our friend group ended up having to call her local police and have her picked up and Baker acted. And so all of those events are what had occurred while I was asleep. Now I'd woken up, had this story sort of told to me and everything because I wasn't awake for it. And I'm just like, well, fuck. So basically, gone for like 3 or 4 days, maybe even 5 days. I don't remember exactly. And she comes back, and it almost immediately goes to shit, okay? She ends up making... So first she goes on Twitter. The drama continues to escalate. Yeah, so the accusations like slowly start to escalate until the point of relevance now where Thought Slime, our lovely friend, our slimy friend Thought Slime, decides to step out of the shadows. Do I have the Thought Slime screenshots attached in this document? Oh, I don't. I didn't attach the Thought Slime screenshots, just the accusation ones. Okay, well, that's interesting. Well, thankfully, we've got plenty of screenshots already here on Twitter. I just want to let you all know, Thought Slime, by the way, is like a mid 30s or early to mid 30s year old, okay? Maybe late 20s at the youngest, okay? A grown adult who should absolutely know better than to do this kind of thing. And at the time, I was like freshly 20, okay? He's 36? Okay, so at the time, 34. So like mid 30s, okay? So even worse, all right? So this is someone who is in their mid 30s, a grown adult who should know better, falsely accusing, making up allegations of a 20-year-old having a sex cult. Does that sound a little weird to you guys? Like, doesn't that kind of just give you, like, I'm not saying that, I'm not accusing Thought Slime being sus, like he's like a pedo or anything. What I'm saying right now is, doesn't that seem like really childish behavior? Like, for an adult to be engaging in something so petty and so childish with a 20-year-old, and for the 20-year-old to be the victim in the situation, really fucking sussed me out. By the way, Thought Slime had a much larger sub count than me, and still does have a much larger sub count than me, and I had a very low sub count at the time, like 20k subs, okay? Like, this drama, when it happened, nearly destroyed my channel. It really nearly destroyed my career. It was really, really worrying that I wasn't going to be able to, like, make enough money.
Okay, so the thing that happened 2 years ago was the allegations that Xanderhal described that came from the person on the NSFW Discord, which had come from the NSFW forum on his site, right? When those allegations were made, Thought Slime tweeted something like, you know, hey, maybe don't start a sex cult, right? And so that is what the 2 years ago event is.
To move out to California and live with my girlfriend Lonnie and like pursue the life of a streamer I wanted to get, because this much larger and much older figure online than me, who had a much larger audience than me, was,
I mean, like, ironically enough, like, right, the whole crybaby thing,
attempting to
I was only 20 years old and this 30-something person said a bad thing about, oh my god, dude, I wish I could get out of everything. When I was in my early 20s, I think a lot of 30-somethings said bad stuff about me. I don't ever remember hiding behind my age to, you know,
character assassinate me when I have no sufficient platform
to crybully them,
to defend myself. And when the drama happened for a while, I got nothing but hate. Especially because
I don't know what this could be other than targeted harassment. And granted, like, I don't see that Xanderhal did anything abusive to this person, right? Like, if that happened, you know, I haven't been shown it, and I have, you know, unfortunately seen a lot of this, right? So I don't see, you know, that claim being supported, but I really don't like the idea, especially people that don't have a platform, right?
Stuff happening right now with the BLM protests, and it's like, guys, my mental health is in fucking shambles right now. You want me to talk about the BLM protests while I'm being falsely accused by
have similar things like with former friends and lovers,
much larger YouTuber than me of having a sex cult and being an abuser? Yeah, that shit really fucking sucked. Let's go ahead and look at some of Thought Slime's tweets, though, and these are tweets from back. Some of these tweets are recent, some of these tweets are from when the drama happened, but I feel like they do a good job of showing off how frequently Thought Slime just back and forth, like, backpedals and, like, slimes and oozes their way back into a different position on me whenever it suits them. Fuck this. He deserves to be hit hard. I'm not beating around the bush here, and I'm not going to be polite and restrained and calling out abuse like this. We don't need to treat this guy with kid gloves, and trust me, he won't return the favor. You're damn right I won't return the favor. Okay, like I said before, this is October. This seems to be October 5th, 2020.
The keys need a makeover.
Well, after I put out my video debunking the allegations, like, definitively, and Thought Slime backpedaled and said that sex cult was an exaggeration that they shouldn't have done. And now this is them. Months later after that, in a Discord server, in Thought Slime's Discord server, saying exactly that. I will not accept equivocation of my poor phrasing when calling out abuse. This is them admitting that it's poor phrasing to call it a sex cult. When calling out, but doubling down on it being abuse, which is just not true. Like, I could literally, I will literally debate you with my fucking eyes closed on whether or not anything I did was abusive. Gap in severity between our respective poor judgments. By the way, damn, they even dead named you? I know, right? How could they do something like that? Okay, so
Very funny.
I want to point something out here. Okay,
Very
I want
funny.
to want to point something very important out here. This is Thought Slime defending an abuser. Okay? Was an abuser.
Oh my god. Okay, like, yeah, because like I'm not here to, you know, watch people without a platform get attacked, and I'm not here to attack anyone without a platform, okay?
Been seeing a lot more people pushing back against Thought Slime just out of nowhere when I woke up this morning. So let's go ahead and check out some of the tweets that people have been posting to, you know, shit.
And whoever brought that up to me, whoever made that critique of me, thank you. You did a good thing.
Talk Thought Slime, because it's been just a grand old fucking time. I wonder what side of the bed they'll get up on today. Say sorry
Dragons
or
are beautiful
gaslight?
creatures.
Fucking true.
Okay, we can talk about nomenclature later on, but you get what I'm saying. It's like we gotta hit the big targets first, okay?
The best part is that Xanderhal hardly
really
even
the big
brings the
targets
Thought
are,
Slime
you
stuff
know,
up to his
the
audience.
targets.
He isn't even encouraging anyone to hold them accountable.
He's a
CS
bridge
is
troll.
that insufferable. Yeah, I was really surprised when I woke up this morning. I mean, obviously now I'm
Okay, then save the ammo for the trolls. Don't waste the ammo on the little, you know, level 1 goblins, right?
covering it, and I'm definitely, you know, sort of like, you know, pushing people to talk about it now and whatnot. But, you know, pretty fucking cool to see so many people just voluntarily coming out to argue against Thought Slime. Turkey Tom, I randomly tweeted the Thought Slime meme. I didn't even realize half the internet was mad at him today for saying Xanderhal runs a sex cult or something. That is
So yeah, that's Turkey Tom. Zan, that's the one that Zan did a reaction to Turkey Tom's video of the new anti-SJW right coming soon, the death of RedTube, etc., etc., etc. Xanderhal pretty much agreed with them. So like it seems like they're pretty friendly. They're pretty friendly, Zan, and this non-political anti-SJW. Chat, do we know about like non-political like anti-SJW? Like, you know what I'm talking about? They're anti-SJW, but don't worry, they're non-political. It's not about politics. It's just about SJWs.
true. Damn, Xander was based all along, always has been.
When Shoonhead was in full anti-SJW and Gary 8 mode, I did not think to copy her videos. I wish I had, because I'm convinced that people do not understand how horrible she is. Non-political as in right-wing, yeah.
That the lie you told perpetuated the notion that Xanderhal TV ran a sex cult. To this day, you lie about it, and the only reason you don't apologize is because you don't like Xan. That is so unimaginably gross. This is the tweet we read before. I made a whole video about how I don't care about pissing off toxic people in the community anymore, so get mad. I'm done giving leeway. Anytime one of these fucks is criticized, the critic is accused of manufacturing drama. We've been through this song and dance for so many times. I'm unironically starting to see a massive rise in people on the left saying it's okay to just not acknowledge reality, as long as you come to the correct conclusion in the end anyway. Only in this case, just not coming to the correct conclusion anyway. Don't acknowledge reality if it doesn't support your narrative is really what's happening here. Like, no different than what QAnon conservative types do. I hate mentioning past shit I've mentioned before, but this previous sex cult situation with TS really reminds me of some shit that happened with my former partner. Threatened to game end themselves and blame me, engaged in really sussy shit with a minor, and then lied about my character, was forced to make a Google Doc calling them out. Abusive people are best at making other people seem like abusers. It's what they do. Lying about someone you don't like because of their proximity to someone else you hate being a sex predator is bad enough, but doubling down on it while claiming to be against toxicity in leftist spaces and cry-bullying when confronted with the hypocrisy of your behavior is yikesy. Between this and the pedo-jacketing, I'm finding myself increasingly frustrated with their recent actions. The cognitive dissonance required to make a whole video about how people are toxic on this app and then be toxic on this app for weeks and claim you're being harassed when people try to hold you accountable for it is wild. Mildred should maybe just take a break from Twitter. Indeed. Oh, that's a repeat tweet. Oh, this is a Thought Slime tweet. Here, let me see if I can get this Thought Slime tweet in an incognito tab.
Yeah, good point. There's a lot of people that these debate bros owe apologies to as well, and I don't see them rushing to make those apologies, right?
Because Thought Slime blocked.
In fact, I've even heard something from Xander. I don't know if it's Xander or Vosh, but like they were saying, like even when you do owe somebody an apology, don't make the apology, because once you start to make the apology, then they've got you. Like it's like if you make the apology, then you're Gulliver and you're lying down for Lilliputians to, like, you know, to tie you down or something. I don't know.
Me. By the way, after Thought Slime blocked me, and
Debate roasts who claim to be leftist but adopt right-wing terminology are gonna be, oh god, yeah. Well, that's what I'm worried about. I'm seriously worried about these people rolling on us. If that SJW, anti-SJW right-wing, you know, YouTube comes back like Turkey Tom was saying.
then made the sex cult allegations, so I couldn't even like reply or quote tweet the tweets to defend myself. Like, absolutely not allowing me to defend myself in any context whatsoever. Every tweet I make gets replied to by sad little hangers-on to do the limpest burns about some beef weird chud streamers have with me. What? Chud streamers? What?
I can unironically see the left describes right-wing tactics. Xanderhal.
What? Like, you're just absolutely destroying your credibility right now. This is like, do you ever see conservatives, like, incapable of distinguishing between liberals and leftists? Like, you ever see a conservative say the Democrats are socialist, and you just become like invigorated in your positions being correct because of how evidently stupid and wrong conservatives are, just on base.
Wait, Zan, that sounds like a reaction a liberal would have. I thought you were a leftist, though. I thought you were a leftist, Xanderhal.
Political.
Oh, by the way, Xanderhal, I'm curious, like, okay, so if I was hanging around in this guy's stream early on, right? And one of the things that he always said he was going to do was read the bread book on stream. I'm wondering, Xanderhal, did you ever get to that? Did you ever read the bread book?
Basic political shit. When I see stuff like this, when I see that like my political rivals, or not even my political rivals, just my rivals generally are this dishonest and this stupid and literally just have to pull fan fiction out of their asses in order to find any reason to criticize me, it makes me more and more like confident in my in my place, you know? I struggle with a good amount of imposter syndrome, if I'm being honest with you guys. Like, really, I do. I suffer from a good amount of imposter syndrome.
Really? You?
And, you know,
Zan?
Seeing that so many of the people that dislike me don't really have all that
I mean, you don't look that much like Germa
to say about me as far as like proving I'm bad goes, just makes me feel like, okay, maybe I do deserve to be where I am. Me, whoa, I love carrot cake. Some stranger I've never spoken to, almost as much as you love saying Xanderhal had a sex cult. Yeah, Thought Slime, you said
my rivals are dishonest, stupid, and liars.
I had a sex cult.
Yeah, where's that sex cult? There was that
nerd plus I plus ratio. Me trying to avoid eye contact with a crackhead at the gas station. It's a pretty good meme.
Wait.
If honesty isn't a value you hold, that's fine, but you should expect. Damn, Thought Slime's getting fucking.
Were they calling Thought Slime a crackhead? Wait, what was the SpongeBob meme doing there?
And ratioed. Sadly, they actually do believe that saying the same liar statement aggressively and repeatedly can browbeat people into agreeing, and that it might convince random people who see it to believe them. It's not even about the person they respond.
Oh, the left need to stop thinking alt-right will have a Zuko redemption arc. A shoe on head is my main theme on that one. She's evil, she's not left. Yeah, she is my definition of a sussy baka.
It's about bystanders. What? I really want to know, has this person like is either a lying piece of shit or is just stupid or is too lazy to seek out the evidence. I want to see if anyone like has called them out. But Xanderhal never had a sex cult. The lie is from Thought Slime. They'd absolutely be begging for forgiveness if they'd wrongly accused a woman of color of the same thing. This kind of behavior is just aberrant and reflects badly on the left. Absolutely fucking true. Having a parasocial relationship with a streamer and compiling them with parasocial streamers, antagonists or enemies, brain gone, barely functional. Yeah, this person's just wrong. I think chain blocking likes and retweets can be effective in limiting the network effect of hangers and dogpilers. So what they're actually trying to do here is prevent as many people as possible that have heard Thought Slime's lies from being able to hear the truth. So basically what's been happening is people have been responding to Thought Slime's tweets with screenshots disproving the like sex cult allegations, and Thought Slime has been blocking.
How do you disprove a sex cult allegation? Like, is there some kind of certification that you can get, the non-sex cult certification, that they like check you through really thoroughly? Like, if you have to sign up for this, you have to pay a fee, and they come to your house and they inspect you and they inspect your house and they do research and they just make sure, okay, we no sex cult. Okay, here's your card. Here's your no sex cult. See, I got the no sex cult. The receipts, like, right? Yeah.
them and like and whatnot to try to keep their replies from showing up.
Yeah, so just so everybody's hearing it now from me, it wasn't a sex cult, okay? It wasn't a sex cult. It was an NSFW Discord server with, you know, people on his Discord, and then it moved off the Discord, right? Just so everybody knows, I'm not saying there was a sex cult, because there was no sex cult. As I said before, a sex cult forming around Xanderhal, very unlikely.
Like in the
very unlikely
replies to their tweets, because then their fans, who they want to believe I had a sex cult, and they, you know, they want their fans to be on their side. They don't want their fans seeing.
We weren't talking about that, but they bring up this straw man. It's literally a right-wing talking point. SJWs prioritize people's opinions and obey people's opinions specifically because of their marginalized status. Wrong. I mean, if anything, there is an emphasis to try to listen to people that are marginalized because they don't normally get listened to. But the idea that, like, you know, this is a right-wing talking point. They want to project an image where, like, you are not allowed to disagree with a woman of color, right? And like that, like, do you see what I mean? They like bring this in here. This wasn't even what we were talking about. Like, oh, I bet you'd believe it if it was. Oh my God, dude! Like, this white aggrievement like permeates every single moment of these people's streams.
They're trying to cover it up by like chain blocking and stuff like that. So none of my fans and none of Vash's fans and Shoe on Head fans, nobody on the left or on who knows about this drama, who's decent, who has more than 2 brain cells, can provide the evidence in the comments.
$5.
How it started, how it's going.
Yeah, but we should still listen to them. Yeah, that's exactly it. The point is that we don't listen to these people enough. Not that they like not that there's some kind of like hierarchy. Like, yeah, you don't get fucking intersectionality points and then get to trade them in for like Bigfooting somebody in an argument. That's not how it works. It's just that like the tendency is not to listen to somebody that's marginalized, right? That is the default. That is what's happening now, right? And these people are acting like what this represents is them getting some sort of special consideration. It's quite the opposite. It's quite the opposite, even in leftist spaces.
Oh yeah. Here's okay, this is a good one. So this is a good one. This is good. Say that having a group of women who are sexually devoted to you while you are not to them and starting plans to live in a shared space is a sex cult. We never had plans to live in a shared space. This is not me being glib. That's calling a spade a spade. Wait, does Thought Slime think that like Lonnie was like, does Thought Slime think that me and Lonnie living together was the arranging to share a space? Lonnie and I were dating for months before the whole like thing even happened. Cherry's response: when I purposefully spread false information on the internet. I love that fucking Thought Slime Graper. It's so good. Every tweet I make gets replied by sad little hanger. Yeah. So like here you can see like Thought Slime go from like, they literally are such a slimy little fuck. Their name is so accurate. Their name is so accurate. I like the profile picture though. You see like the little soft boy ooh woo like profile picture. This is like the peak lefty abuser feel, you know, like the ooh woo soft boy, like you know, like ooh woo profile picture, but like an absolutely like massive piece of shit in real life. Just here, let me get rid of the chat.
So this is really weird because what this is like, I'm gonna say it feels like, what is it, like femme shaming or something like that? Like it's bad to be like a soft boy, it's bad to be like, or I mean like that's not even like, you know, Mildred is non-binary, so that's not even what that wouldn't be even the like right term, right? But like, do you see how they sort of venerate strength and you know, look at weakness as a vice? That is a right-wing characteristic that they never de-radicalized out of.
For you guys so you can see it. Just
that is how they've all been, yeah.
Absolutely. You can feel
transandrophobic.
Like the smugness sort of emanating through the profile picture there.
Toxic masculinity. Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of shit that these debate bros have never de-radicalized out of themselves.
You know what I'm saying? Thought Slime really falsely accused Xan of being a sexual abuser, only
Machismo.
to
oh yeah, you're gonna see more of that.
Year later say, but did you consider I had to deal with his fans asking me to apologize? Lamau. And Vosh replied, I would hate to be in their position. Thankfully, I have never once been wrong on the internet. True.
V, not to my knowledge.
Oh, and then of course...
Oh, no, so the Softboy comment was made against Thought Slime, who's, you know, non-binary.
Or Shuonhead coming up to bat for me. That was really nice to see. Yes, I spread a lie about
That could be a dimension of hate.
Yes, I spread a lie about someone being a sexual abuser.
There's a rise of leafy content from these guys. This is so shallow and vapid of Xan.
But have you thought about how this affects me? As a quote tweet to that other tweet, remember? The TS gives me heavy Mel vibes.
It is hard to follow, B.
Yes, yeah.
Heavy what? Wait, heavy what vibes? Did anybody catch that? Heavy something vibes?
The Shuonhead's tweet was the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning. Yeah, Lonnie, that was what you woke me up and told me about it. Yeah, we got like a bunch of people in their replies and stuff. Oh yeah, here's more of Thought Slime going back and forth. No, I made a flip remark, clarified that
So yeah, it's Chaos's Mel is who's being referenced there.
Overstated it, and for years I've dealt with his fans being insufferable about it. Also, it was
soft bean would be an acceptable insult, but it seems speaking with toxic masculinity, you're gonna see more.
It is not hyperbole to say that having a group of women who are sexually
unfortunately
devoted
is not just Xanderhal displaying those right-wing characteristics right now
to you, while you are not to them, and starting.
I think so. Michael. Oh my God. Why do I keep calling? Wait, Mickey. Oh my God. I'm pronouncing everybody's name
in a
wrong.
Shared space is a sex cult.
I can't read
that
names.
That is not me being glib. That's calling a spade a spade. God, it's just
can we just get that laugh as a stream alert or something? What would that be for?
Constant back and forth.
Oh yeah, like no Vosh equal tanky is when no Vosh.
Literally, whether like
can we make that a meme chat? Tanky is when no Vosh.
It's like a 50-50
tanky is when no Vosh
coin flip on whether or not Thought Slime's gonna apologize today or not. Really, like
if no Vosh, then tanky.
Apologize but not apologize, like sorry not sorry, like just a statement to get like people off their back, or if they're gonna gaslight their fans into thinking no, I never did that. And of course their fans fall for it because, you know, Xanderhal, I usually do not like calling people in this space things like this, but I'm very comfortable saying TS is an actual abuser. True. Okay, this has been like a running joke.
But do you see how they're like really careful not to call Xan anything that he isn't, right? They're really careful unless you got fucking proof, like you're like, you know, right? Like nobody better call Xan anything, right? But then when it, like they're just like, yeah, an abuser, right? That's what's going on. This is like, right? I don't know. It's just like a total double standard.
To everybody who was involved,
they are so precious about their own reputations and their own sense of dignity, and so uncaring about anyone else's.
Regarding this Thought Slime drama, I found a clip from a guy who makes good YouTube videos who has some profound advice that Thought Slime should probably take.
People took issue with it, and they let me know, gently, that what I had done was hurtful and beneath me. And I did what YouTubers are supposed to do in that situation. I followed protocol. I got really defensive, like a baby that had both pooped and peed itself, that kind of baby.
That kind of baby.
Insulted everyone who spoke up and threw a temper tantrum. I was about halfway through writing an op-ed for Reason.com titled, Why I'm Leaving the Left, the Hounding of SJW Woke Scolds, when I thought, you know what, I'm gonna ask my fiance what she thinks and she'll tell me I'm right because I'm always right, and the only feedback I should be allowed to get is constant praise. So she watched it and she said to me, well, Matt, you know, one problem with this video is that you did fuck up, and one thing about the criticism you're getting is that they kind of have a point. And suddenly, the cognitive dissonance
Damn, 1,100
was broken.
viewers.
And it became obvious to me, like it had been obvious to everyone else before me, that I was doing that thing.
Okay, so this is Thought Slime. If you don't know, this is Thought Slime giving an apology, taking accountability for something that people said was ableist that they had said. And Xanderhal's like using this to say, oh, this is what you need to hear now, you know, like, right, this is, you know, that calling Xanderhal's thing Discord server a sex cult was bad, and that Thought Slime should take accountability for that. They're also going to say that it's cringe that you know, somebody apologizes for what's basically normie ableism, right? So normie ableism, what's that? Okay, well, like, you know, there's ableism, right? You know, there's like making fun of somebody for their disability, and then there's like normie ableism, which is a lot of our language is ableist, right? But a lot of us cannot stop saying words like dumb, myopic, right? These all actually refer to disabilities, all right? And it seems like, oh my God, I can't believe you would even think about like, that's, oh my God, you're such an SJW. But seriously, think about being somebody with a disability, right? Who gets to hear, you know, their disability called out every day in like normal language. And if you ask them about that, oh no, I don't mean like dumb, like, you know, like not able to talk. I mean dumb, like bad, like, you know, and it's like, okay, great. You're using the word that applies to me as a shorthand for bad person, or you know what I mean? It's so like that's a real conundrum, and I don't know how to solve that yet, Chad. Like that is a real question. What I try to do is notice when I do use ableist language and find ways around it, because I do feel like we need to make progress on that.
You know, that thing where you know you're wrong, so you try and just be wrong harder at the people trying to talk sense to you? To double down and double down until you're comfortably beneath the Earth's crust and nobody can force you back up to the surface to confront the painful reality that you've hurt people. So I swallowed my pride and I said I was sorry. I took down the video, reached out to a few of the people I'd been particularly shitty to, and apologized to them personally. It hurt to do. It was hard. I don't tell you that to make you feel sorry for me. It should be hard. Growth is hard, and this is my job. People pay me
Yeah, by the way, reminder that this is Thought Slime's apology for using the words lunacy and nanners in a video, because that's ableist. I just want to remind you that is the context of this
thousands of dollars a month, and that means it doesn't always get to be easy. I'm not entitled to this being easy.